You're listening to a portion of our conversation from episode 254 featuring the Jurassic Wire with myself, Brad Jost, and co-host Aaron Beyer. If you want to hear the full conversation, download the episode on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Today we discuss the upcoming line from Mattel, Dino Escape. Tim over at Collect Jurassic revealed some fun information about the line, so we discuss our thoughts and ideas in full. Be sure to check out Tim's video link in the description. We also discuss the Chronicle Collectibles issue, high-end toy collecting, what 2021 will look like for Jurassic collecting, and much more. As always, be sure to let us know what you think, and of course, we hope you enjoy it. Thanks, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to our next conversation piece here, which is Mattel. All right. So
I'm so
guys,
happy that we're going to talk about toys because, and I'm for real. I'm not being sarcastic. There was a string of time where this wire was nothing but toy talk.
Yeah.
And I feel like we haven't talked about toys very much. So I'm pretty stoked to talk about this.
Yeah, I do agree. I feel like it's been a while. And I feel like we said that one other time, and then it was like last month that we talked about toys, but who knows? Anyway, when, and one thing that we didn't really discuss in our previous segment was 2021 and what does that actually look like? And I think a lot of that, for the fact that Jurassic World Dominion is not going to be in 2021, me and you specifically, if you look behind me, if you look behind you, we have a collection. We collect things, and we want to know, what does 2021 look like for collectors and toy hunters, and whether it's the Amber collection or just the main toy line. Or anything else. What does that look like for us fans? Because when you move a film away from its release year, is this going to look like Ghostbusters, like you were talking about before? Ghostbusters just released everything. Like these toys above me, these ones with all, you see the logos all up there, those were supposed to be timed with the movie, but it was too late to back out, and they just ended up on the shelves. So there they are.
Didn't someone just release like a full-on proton pack or whatever that?
Just the gun itself. Yeah, it's
some
amazing
collectible thing.
It's amazing. Yeah, $100, not too bad.
I don't think we're seeing everything, but we're definitely seeing some things where companies were like, "No, we signed deals that this was going to come out at this time. You can't stop. You can't stop the train at this point."
Yeah, if it's going into production, certainly it's like, well, we're kind of past it, and we saw that with Battle at Big Rock. It's like, that was supposed to come out at a certain time, but then they just released the toys anyway, and it's like, well, this is all messed up. So I don't know what's going to happen with Ghostbusters in the future here, but this is not a Ghostbuster podcast, I guess. But Jurassic, it's like, what are you going to do? Hopefully they haven't, it seems like they haven't produced, they haven't gone into production on their 2021 stuff just yet. We're getting somewhere that we might have an idea as far as what we could see in 2021. And that could be, what is it called now? Dino Escape.
Yeah, let's talk about Dino Escape.
So first off, let me mention this. This came from... Initially, that's the wrong thing that you see there on the screen. But initially, Josh at Nublar7 on Twitter found a trademark. Dino Escape is a new trademark by Universal and Amblin. Seems to be for a new line of merchandise, games, action figures, etc. Wonder if this is a tie-in at all for Jurassic World Dominion, he asks. And he posted a little picture there. So, so Dino Escape is something that he was able to track down. I don't know if he was the originator of this tracking down, but he's always good for that kind of stuff.
Right.
So Dino Escape, pretty interesting. This would just follow in suit with, the original line. I don't think it really had a name or anything. Then we had
it was Fallen Kingdom.
Well, yeah, I guess it was just the Fallen Kingdom line. Then you had Dino Rivals. You had Primal Attack. Was there anything else? Am I missing something? I don't think so.
Dino Rivals, Primal Attack.
I mean,
What's out right now?
You have Camp Cretaceous and Primal Attack together right now.
Okay.
So Dino Escape seems to be what we're gonna get in 2021. And if this is something that they just filed, that could be interesting. It's a new trademark, so maybe they're like, you know what? And internally, maybe they've known they're going to push this film for a little while, so they were able to make some deals and get the stuff out. Get a product in place of whatever was going to be released. I know a long time ago, me and you looked at a big list of dinosaurs and humans and stuff that were going to be coming to Target via the Amber Collection.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, and we went over all the listing of dinosaurs, and they were supposedly hinting at things that we're going to see in Dominion. Not a ton of stuff. There was only like a few things that really hinted at that. A lot of it was legacy.
No spoilers here, but yeah.
No, a lot of it was legacy stuff, which is expected because they're releasing legacy stuff all the time for Amber Collection, and
right.
And of course, with the new film, you're like, well, it would be smart to release legacy stuff, if not new sculpts or new outfits or whatever. But yeah, and actually, to follow up on that, we've finally got Amber Collection at Target, which is amazing. We got Delta, I believe, right? Yeah, Delta.
Wouldn't know.
I know. I'm sorry, man. Delta is in Target, and so far in the probably month or so that it's been out, maybe a little less near me, I think maybe one has moved, but hopefully more than that. It seems like only one, which is kind of, it's still a slow start, but hopefully they move off the shelf at least.
I think the legacy stuff I think it's a bit overpriced for what it is.
Well, the Amber Collection, you mean?
Yeah, did I say legacy? I meant Amber Collection. But I think toys like that are, and I'm not just saying Jurassic. I think any franchise, when I look at like that scale of toy, I'm just like, why? I look at that and I go, why wouldn't you just spend 4 times that price and get something like really awesome? Like if you can just easily drop like $40 on an Amber Collection, like, okay, so for instance, like me, I'm looking at Toys R Us because we have Toys R Us in Canada.
Yeah.
Jurassic World, Camp Cretaceous, Adventure Pack, which is the pack with Darius and the Stegosaur and the Baryonyx, $64.99.
Yikes!
Velociraptor Colossal Blue, $79.99. And these aren't like markups, man. These are MSRP. And so, like, for me, the collecting this year has just been abysmal. Like, I think I've purchased a handful of things this year, and I think they're stuck in the States. They're either like at my parents' house, or I think you were kind enough.
I've got a lot of them here. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you actually have some of my stuff. But it looks like we did just get the Escape from Nublar set with Hammond and Ellie for $44.99.
Yeah.
We're still rocking Jurassic World Indoraptor figures for $29.99. Thrash and Throw Tyrannosaurus Rex for $59.99. This guy is still in stores. He's not even like a website exclusive anymore. He's still in stores.
That's weird.
It's just the collecting here is awful. And yeah, do you think that this Dino Escape, I don't think that's really that grabbing of a name. Does that?
I mean, it feels in line with Dino Rivals and Primal Attack. It really
does it though.
I think so.
Dino Rivals feels so much more like oomph, like an impact to me, and Primal Attack feels good. This feels like quick. What can we do to get a trademark so that we don't drop Dominion? Like we need to change up the branding next year. So what do we trademark?
I don't know.
But they've got to have like a whole. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, man.
I could definitely hear like
Silence.
I know. I was like, where are we going? I can hear like the commercial guy, doing like the Dino Escape, buy your Jurassic World toys now, kind of thing.
Okay.
And it sounds fun to me. Like and it kind of, it creates a story in a way for me. Dino Rivals did. Primal Attack doesn't really create like a story in my head all that much. I'm still not a huge fan of that overall, but Dino Escape, I feel like it's back on track, with Dino Rivals, where it creates like a story for me, kind of like we've talked about with other like the old toy lines and stuff like that. You can
Yeah.
create a visual around what you're buying, and I mean, as long as they deck them with something else, like some sort of vehicles to track them down or capture gear or something like that. Dino Escape makes like a lot of sense, I feel like. Um, and
So do you think that this was originally the Dominion line that they're now going to have to probably shelf some figures for a year? Do you like I have a feeling I think a
um,
lot of this line that we're going to get was originally designed to be part of the Dominion roster, or we just get a bunch of reprints, like just new paint jobs.
well, no, I doubt that. I think a lot of I doubt half that statement.
Okay.
I think this is definitely the repaints and a lot of that stuff. New packages, new packaging, and all that good stuff as far as like what we're combining. And we have hints and stuff as far as it being a lot of Camp Cretaceous as well, because starting next year we're gonna have another season. So there's gonna be a lot more to hopefully show off. Maybe there'll be hints at season two, because as far as season one goes, like half the toys we got aren't even in that season. It's like
Yeah.
there's baryonyx. We got a bunch of baryonyx, and Ceratosaurus is out there now, and what else? I don't know, all kinds of stuff that's just not even in season one. And the T-Rex, which seemed to play a big part in the marketing and the toy and everything. It's not even it's not even a thing really.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Like maybe we could see some carryover from those ones that they didn't show off in season one. Maybe there's some hints to season three, even, who knows? But I think Camp Cretaceous could play a big role into whatever we see next year, and that's something we theorized even before hearing some word. Actually, Collect Jurassic, our buddy Tim over there, produced a great video showcasing what is expected and what kind of his theories and conjecture, as well as some of the line terms and stuff like that. Like because all of these lines have different lines with them, like different things, structures, and stuff. Like you've got primal, you've got the attack packs, you've got savage strikes, massive biters, roarivores, like stuff like that, where they're all different structures within that line. So let me bring up, I want to bring up some of the stuff from his. Let's see here. It says,
I mean, like for real though, but like how's collecting been for you this year? Like,
yeah, we can go back to that.
I collect very differently than you. Like I'm in the mode of my collection already of Jurassic World is getting so big, and it's gonna become overwhelming. I'm to the point where like they're handling it differently than I thought they would. Like I really assumed they were gonna kind of go the Star Wars route, where like the T-Rex was the T-Rex and the Raptors were the Raptors, and they would like maybe visit like old movies and like kind of like, so Star Wars, when there's not movies running, it's like every quarter is a new theme, and the theme is usually like one of the older movies or one of the cartoon seasons or something.
Yeah.
This was before like Disney took over, right? And so like every quarter like would change. I remember when I first started my job in the industry, like Hasbro was celebrating Empire Strikes Back, and the only toys on the shelves were just basically Empire themed.
And now, however many years later, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same.
Are they? Yeah, because isn't there like an anniversary now of Empire? Oh,
yeah,
it's 10 years later.
Yeah,
I've been there for 10 years. So it's just the 10-year increment anniversary.
Yeah. So what is it? The 40th, I guess now, and it's like let's release all that stuff. And I've been picking up all that stuff. I have Black Series stuff, which is up. Well, whatever side it's on up here. You can barely see them, but I've picked up Lando and Leia and Chewie and a droid and all this different stuff. So it's still, I'll still buy it. Like I don't know, but
it's crazy to me that Mattel didn't take that route, I thought for sure when this happened, I was like, okay, Dominion will be that first year, right?
Mhm.
And so we'll get or not Dominion. I'm sorry, Fallen Kingdom will be the first like year. Then we'll get like a series 2, like a follow up to Fallen Kingdom, where it's
Mhm.
Dino Rivals, right?
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's
I was
it.
certain. I was like, oh, surely after Dino Rivals, they dive into like the Lost World or
Oh,
something,
really?
and
Okay.
they bust out the Malcolm figures and the orange
Mhm.
wrapped, and like they just go further, like kind of take the
Hmm.
legacy collection and just dive
Yeah.
a little deeper. But they didn't. They just kept going
No.
with Jurassic
just
World.
just new stuff after new
And
stuff, and yeah, it's like, what are they even gonna make for Dominion? And
but I'm
then
but I'm to the point where like I don't have the space for the random things that aren't in the movies anymore, or the
yeah,
things that I
yeah.
don't deem like or the things that I don't deem like in my head of what I would want in my Jurassic Park. So like
Hmm.
I know you were all about that. Was it the Postosuchus and like the
Yep. Yeah.
what's the chubby one on 4 legs with like the tusks? Like
Oh yeah,
that's
Scutosaurus, I
something.
think.
Yeah, yes, good source. I feel like that's something that like 2 years ago, man, I would have been like, dude, you gotta find me a Scutosaurus. You got like, and I'm like, as long as I
I
get the
haven't found that at
Sinoceratops
all.
this year, like I'm happy, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot that I haven't found this year, but yeah, I'd say overall this year has been fairly light for me as well. I've picked up a lot, but it's like one-off. It's like, hey, here's a random raptor. Here's Bumpy. I did get those packs, like you were saying. That was pretty cool. The Amber Collection stuff has been really prominent for me. I've been really, really into getting that because I love that scale. And I know you were saying, like, why don't you just save your money and buy a bigger item? But I can get like in wherever he is, Indy back here. That was a present for me, and I'm like, I don't buy that sort of thing for myself. I know you do, but like I have a hard time committing to like that price. But I'll buy like 20 of these other things that cost the same as your one. So that's where I want
See,
the bulk of it in a way.
that's where. Oh, this actually is a great. We were talking about. Should we even discuss them? Like, I really, really, really wanted that 1/6 scale Velociraptor from Chronicle,
Hmm.
and I was waiting to see what happened because like Chronicle is notoriously like not great paint jobs. So like I was kind of waiting, kind of saving my points to see if I could like slam a bunch of them at one of those raptors, and now like they
Yeah.
seem to be like debunked or something.
Well, yeah, I guess they kind of folded. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it. It seemed like a lot of people were, you know,
Like, hey,
out of
where's my
luck
money?
there. Yeah, like trying
Yeah.
to get their money back, trying to deal with banks and whoever the payments go out to, because all those things are on payment plans and stuff like that, and people are wondering if they were going to get their items. And yeah, it seems like it's a total mess. I haven't heard anything in a little while, and I kind of like honestly, I never really cared all that much for Chronicle stuff. I know we covered it from time to time, but like some of the stuff looked good in the production pictures, but I never felt like compelled after seeing the actual
After you see
product,
the final
you know?
product, right?
So yeah, and there was like maybe one or two items, and they were small. Like the resonating chamber would have been interesting to me, or something like that, like a prop kind of thing. But yeah, that's interesting that they just kind of disappeared, and
Yeah.
I haven't heard any kind of communication. But again, I haven't really been paying attention to what's been going on there since that initial 2 or 3 days after the fact.
Yeah, people were like, "Hey, I how do I get my money back or how do I get a refund?" And my thing is like Chronicle always felt a little off to me in the fact that they charged you way ahead of time for products. Now I
Hmm.
do have some Chronicle products, but it did feel weird that like I basically had money like floating out there. Whereas like I like Sideshow in the sense that they don't charge you until it
Until
ships,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
I put in a bunch of or two things. I don't know if it was from them or somebody else, but it was an Ahsoka figure, and
the Hot Toys Ahsoka
I
figure.
maybe I don't remember at this point.
Maybe.
I don't
Oh
remember.
my,
It's been a
oh my
while. Dude,
God.
this quarantine's been, I don't even know what it is. And I've just been like buying
The,
things.
the Hot Toys Ahsoka figure. I don't even know who the heck she is, but man, it's so cool.
Let me
It's
see if
so
that's the one.
the Hot
Um,
Toys Ahsoka.
let's see. Let's see if that's the one. I think it is. Let's see. Sideshow maybe here. Oh, you know what? I think I got. I pre-ordered. Yeah, that looks like it. Yeah, that one and Anakin as well. So
But it's Hot Toys, right?
yeah. Oh,
Okay,
yeah. I guess, but I don't know if I got it from there or on Sideshow. I don't know where I
right.
bought it.
So
Like,
Sideshow's
but
just a distributor.
yeah, yeah.
Welcome to my nightmare of not being able to stop with Hot Toys.
No,
D-
I'm not that committed, dude.
Dude,
It's like a
just
tattoo.
wait.
Like,
Just wait. Once you realize, once you go into your account and they're like, "Hey, this is shipping," and then you can put it on payment plans. You can delay your payments for 2 months. Like they really know how to just keep you coming back for that
yeah.
next little bite.
There, I put her up on the screen there. That's the figure that I have pre-ordered there. That's Ahsoka, and then you can
I
also
look up like
see
I'm expecting to be. Oh, dude, it's so good.
and the Anakin as well. I was just like, well, you can't have Ahsoka without, you got to have Anakin as well, and
There's
especially
a
that the fact that it's like film accurate Anakin, and then
the
it's
animated
actually
clothes. Yeah,
it's not even an animated version of Ahsoka. It's like a real. It almost looks
yeah.
like what they're projecting, and I don't know. Maybe it's been revealed at this point, but if she does turn up in the Mandalorian, it's like it looks like that's the iteration that you would see in that show. So outside of the outfit is from the
No, but
final season of the Clone Wars.
Hot Toys does that. Like they've got a whole line of characters that are like, because that's their thing is they do like the movie accurate like figures,
Hmm.
and they started doing like Clone Wars stuff, and that's what they do. They ape the look from like the film accurate stuff, and then they put them in clothing that's like the same colors as they would have in the cartoon. So like yeah, like
Uh-huh.
that Anakin is really just a redo of they did episode 3 Anakin. They did two versions of him. They did regular and they did a like Sith version.
Yeah, yeah, and
And
he's
this is
wearing his
basically
Clone Wars attire, which is really cool.
right. And then they redid this one and put him in his Clone Wars attire. So it's
Yeah.
really cool.
It's just like those were too beautiful to pass up. But like, I don't know what is this one that I have? Indiana Jones, Crystal Skull,
So this is
Fridge.
let me go get my I would actually if I wasn't wedged in this chair, I'd go get my Hot Toys Indiana Jones. Um dude, I have a DeLorean, a Hot Toys DeLorean.
Oh man, see, yeah, that's great.
I got the that was like oh what a way I've never been able to unbox it. I have nowhere to put it. It's 6 scale. It's the size of my desk. Um
And I don't
that
know
was something that was
this
like
this Indiana Jones, where is it? Yeah, it's over here. This one behind me. I don't know. It says
I think that's a
Lucasfilm.
Sideshow.
That's Sideshow. It says it looks like they teamed up with Sideshow. 12-inch figure, and it's beautiful. And I was hooked, dude. Like as soon as I got that figure, I'm like, I need to do this. I need to get into this. But I never did. I don't know why. Like I love that figure so much. And it comes with the fridge from Crystal Skull. Like I know a lot of people don't like that movie, but I love it. And I love that it comes with a heavy duty fridge that is charred. It comes with a bunch of it comes with the Crystal Skull and all that good stuff. It's amazing. But it just I never pulled the trigger on getting anything else because they are so expensive. But, this past year I'm like, I got to get all these Ghostbusters things. I got to get literally Back to the Future just started showing up in Target, and I'm like, oh no, dude,
did it really?
NECA Back to the Future even just started showing up, and like Marty in his Tyvek suit, like with the headphone, and in the scene he comes with the headphones and the hair dryer that says like, I am Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan, like that whole like it comes with that. Surprisingly, it didn't come with a second pair of hands to do the. I don't know if maybe they don't have the rights to do the Vulcan symbol or whatever, but yeah, it came with a bunch of pieces for the same price point as the Amber Collection, which is that's got a lot more stuff for the value of $30 than the Amber Collection does. And then they also started coming out with animated Back to the Future stuff, like from the animated show, as well as like reaction figures that are like really retro figures, like 4 points of articulation or something like that. So yeah, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And plus the Black Series has kept me very busy. I've been buying artwork and stuff. Jurassic, like I said, I've just been getting like one thing here, one thing there, not like a bulk, of stuff like I did with like Ghostbusters. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the last thing I really was like amped about was the Sinoceratops. I was like,
that was really
get
cool.
a few of those. But again, like if I'm at the store, like if I'm at Target and I see one of something, I'm like, no, like if I can't get, it doesn't make sense to me to have one. Like, so.
Okay. Yeah. And that's
like,
the way it's been. My Target has really not moved a lot of new stuff, like smaller dinosaurs and stuff. There's been like one of each of like the bigger ones, like massive biters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And once they're gone, they're gone. Like they never get replenished. So and the tack packs and humans and stuff just been like really static or stale at this point. Like nothing has come through. So I've been saying that in a lot of my toy hunts. Like I'm getting kind of like just feeling stale about the whole thing. It's like it doesn't really feel like much is happening outside of Camp Cretaceous. That was like really, really cool to see all those new toys come in. But since then, I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, in all reality, does that like disappoint you, like with what's going on and like really like understanding the realities of like it's an off year for Jurassic, it's COVID-19, like
no, and to be honest, Mattel just came out with their like an earnings report of some sort that said that Jurassic World is up like from the previous year. So in the
really
second year, I guess, right after a film, which is kind of awesome. Like you don't really hear that a lot. That because of stuff like Camp Cretaceous, that's really helped out, I guess. And I guess Primal Attack did some good for them. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, it's awesome to hear that though, because previously it's like, well, Jurassic World's down, but it's to be expected because it's a non-film year. But now apparently it's up a little bit. So I don't know if it's up to the standards of a film year, but it's up compared to what it was like previously. So that's good. That's good. That's really good news to have a good report for Jurassic on like an earnings report. So
hey.
Yeah.
I mean, this is everything that we ever want, like we ever talked about before Mattel got the license. It was, I wish this was just something that I could go to the store and I could see new Jurassic things all the time, right? And we're there and we've got it. And I don't want to complain, but I am to the point where I think I'm going to start like, I don't think I can collect everything. It's just not possible. And so I think like as I think I've mentioned here, as newer, better sculpts come out of like these animals, I think some of the older ones, they wind up on eBay. Like, with Carnotaurs, I think I have like 5 Carnotaurs and 2 of them are like this new Toro and the one before that, the Stomp and Strike or whatever.
Okay.
Like
whatever that was. Yeah. What was that?
Control
and command and control
or something.
So whatever. I don't know.
I love that sculpt. And so like, I'm like, well, why do I need the other one? If I like these so much better, why am I keeping these others? Like, in my mind, Jurassic World doesn't have 6 Carnotaurs. They had like 4, 3,
Yeah. I have 2 of those. I never got around to the Toro because I have 2 of those and I have one of the others. But yeah, it's like I'm kind of at that point. I've never been at the point of buying everything that I need to have every item. I've definitely passed on a lot of them, and I think that's what's kept me in a good place with the collecting Jurassic. It's like, I'll pass on a lot of stuff that I specifically just don't care about or don't want. And this year, it's been a mix of like, well, I've never found that thing. I like a Scutosaurus, never found that. I just was able to grab hold of a Bumpy. I still don't have it yet. It's like shipping in November, but so. I mean, I think it's okay to miss out on a lot of the stuff because we're, this is the second year, I guess, but like we've had 3 separate lines and 4, I guess if you can count Camp Cretaceous, like that's crazy. I just never imagined within these past 2 years that we would have this many toys. And then, like I'm saying, like 2021 being an off year could be a benefit to us collectors to just like take a break and then hopefully
Well,
charge up again. But it doesn't seem like they're going to take a huge break, at least.
no. So let me rein this back in to
Mm,
what we originally talked about, which was this new line.
yeah.
Was there anything in this that gets you excited? Because like for me, the human packs that they talk about in the video, that gets me excited.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get me excited if it's Owen with blue
Yeah.
and
I know.
Claire
Yeah.
with some, like I have those characters. I'm looking for Lowry and I'm looking for,
Yeah.
you know, oh
Anybody.
my god,
Any
so many
character. Yeah.
any other characters that I can get my hands on.
So
Yeah.
so if they did that with Camp Cretaceous stuff, if they put in Brooklyn, the vlogger with the YouTube channel, like, would that entice you if they put in Brooklyn with, did she interact with any specific dinosaur? I don't know. Like we'll just say
I'm
a Dimetrodon or something.
I'm trying to think of our conversation when you were like, "Hey, I'm here across like a Darius with a Stegosaurus," and I gotta say, I don't know if Darius was the selling point for me
Hmm.
because he's animated. And I don't know. I don't have him in my hands yet. I don't have him with my other characters to see
Sure.
how he fits or looks. For me, the big
Yeah,
selling point of that
it's
was
obvious.
Bumpy as an accurate size, and the Stegosaurus, which I think looks really good in pictures.
And that Bumpy, honestly, I don't even know if it's fully accurate size. It's very small. It's the same size as like the mini one. It's the same thing.
Oh, it is very. Yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah.
probably not accurate size.
But then the other one, the attack pack one is just massively oversized. And the attack packs are all supposed to be in scale, but it's
What's
just
great though is
massive.
that attack pack Bumpy will actually probably be accurate for season 2 with how
Yeah, I
fast
guess. I guess so.
growth
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, that could be accurate there because we didn't get those other ones in season one either. So that's interesting. Never really thought of it that way.
I mean,
But
with
she's still
Bumpy's
like,
growth rate being out of this world,
it
like
still has like kind of like childlike proportions, though, I feel like, on it. But I don't know. I have to take a look at it. I still don't have it. But I hope that's the route to take, at least with Camp Cretaceous, is like, give us some of these characters from Camp Cretaceous. Make like a pack with like both camp counselors and like a dinosaur or something. But yeah, I would love to see what you were talking about as well. Maybe have a year where it's like these are the Jurassic World toys, because we actually never got Mattel Jurassic World toys. We got Fallen Kingdom ones, but
yeah, and
never,
that's what I said. That's why I thought for sure they would do that. Like I thought we were going to get
yeah,
to Dominion when we didn't know it was Dominion, but I thought we were going to get to Dominion and have had a full round of every movie having their line of toys. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I mean, that would be awesome to have like white clothes Claire, and then like not another Owen. We whatever clothes he's wearing is basically the same clothes, so it doesn't matter. You could just interchange it. But like Lowry and Vivian and Doctor Wu, which I was interested in, like thinking about Doctor Wu, because I'm like, well, would you make it like an animated version because he's in the show, or would it be like, would it be just like a film version? Either way, I would like, because the animated ones, you can definitely tell that they're animated. The features are slightly exaggerated. They do fit in well with the humans of the other lines, but you can definitely tell it's animated. But yeah, I don't know. I hope the human packs or whatever they plan on doing. It does seem like, according to Tim, that like they're going to be doing, packs at least. So it's not going to be just a human. I guess they kind of learned from that by having peg warmers out there of just humans. So yeah, I guess we're going to be
well,
getting sets of things.
they learned, but did they really learn? Because Kenner's humans, there was an enticing reason to buy those humans, which was the weapons and
Yeah,
the babies. Like you couldn't
yeah,
in those
yeah,
days, you couldn't just go and buy miniatures in a pouch and get a bunch of small ones. You had to buy the
yeah,
humans in order to get the babies. So like if you wanted your Triceratops to have a couple hatchlings, you had to buy a few Ellie Sattlers. Like That was just the
Mhm.
deal.
Yeah. But even the minis are just a completely different thing. Like there's a few that can maybe fit the bill, but these baby ones that are behind me, I always go on the wrong side. They're just like babies. Like they're actually babies.
Yeah.
Like they feel like they could fit in. The minis are just like adults as a mini dinosaur. So it's like a
Right.
completely different thing. I would love if they included that in the old, in like an, some sort of maybe retro packaging or something would be really cool. Like I was saying with the Back to the Future stuff, they're coming out with stuff that looks retro, like it was original. And Star Wars as well has always kind of done that. They're always coming out with vintage collections and stuff. So
Right.
I don't know what's stopping them. I know, it's probably a rights thing trying to get the, stuff from Kenner. Or I don't know how that all works, but
No, they have didn't they say they had like rights to do everything that they wanted? They have the Jurassic Park
I
license.
don't know.
I'm sure they can't do dino trackers. I'm sure that's a
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I want them to like remake the old stuff, like, because
oh
that's what
no
Star
way.
Wars. No, but that's what Star Wars is doing. And yes, they're the same brand that owned it from the start.
Same
But
company, man.
I know that's the problem. But how cool would that be though to get like, and the same with these Ghostbusters. Like, I think these are Kenner too, if I remember correctly. But
Yeah,
I don't
but are
know.
they
I don't know
look at
who's
the back of the
producing.
box?
I'm not
Is
moving them.
Hasbro producing them?
Let me get this one over here. Hold on. Keep talking.
I mean, there's got to be a Hasbro logo on there, right? So while Brad does that,
Yep.
I can tell you guys definitely be buying as many Hot Toys as you possibly.
Yeah, it did say Hasbro on there. So
Yeah, so
yeah, it
it's
said
got
Hasbro and then it said Kenner in the bottom. So
right. So Hasbro is just basically, for a lack of better term, pimping out the Kenner font.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it just won't ever happen, but it's just such a dream to like have those old molds, recreated in some way. But
Yeah.
even if they don't, like just to revisit old lines during 2021 would be really cool. It seems like they'll probably end up saving a lot of the, I guess it would save the legacy stuff to maybe have more impact when Dominion comes out, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if I mean, if you're gonna have a legacy, if you're gonna brand it legacy, I don't think you can come out with something called legacy and not have it in a movie year. I mean, could you do a Lost? I think you could do a Lost World line.
Well,
Jurassic
honestly,
World.
I think anything is fair game when it comes to the Amber collection, because that's like a legacy. A lot of it is legacy in itself. Like, you've got the
Sure.
Raptor, you've got Malcolm, Dilophosaurus, and Nedry. I
Right.
think you could always come out with legacy stuff for that. So I feel like that's like a separate thing on its own, and I would love to see them just continually expand that. Whatever they had planned, they can. I feel like they could still release that stuff, if it as long as it doesn't pertain to Dominion. Um, but um,
Probably.
but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we'll go back to the Dino Escape stuff because so
That's the real topic.
that's the real topic. Tim was saying the humans as well. He said wild attack, which is kind of, I guess, it seems like it's above the attack pack, and it's kind of just like a savage strike, like something like that, like in that realm. It's a little bit bigger, beefier. It's got some sort of movement. And that's cool. I mean, I'm fine with all this continuation as long as there's some fun stuff in there. But when they continually do the same things over and over, I don't know. 2021 might be a little stale for me. The other one is Roar Attack, which would hint to being a roarvore of some sort. Like the old stuff. So what else are they going to produce there? They could definitely come up with some interesting stuff there. And I think the last one that he mentioned was a Mega Destroyer, which I guess you could, kind of say it's like a massive biter or something like that, or like
Man.
the command and conquer, control, whatever all those Carnosaurs
Yeah.
were, like stuff like that.
Mega Destroyer actually just sounds like a title that's just gearing to disappoint me. Because when I think of the word Mega Destroyer, I
Yeah,
think of something along the lines of like the Brachiosaurus scale. Like that's a Mega Destroyer. Like
Yeah, it did make me think about super colossal, like and
Yeah.
that's massive, all these words, they all sound the same. Massive biters, mega destroy. Like the massive biters were just like, they're just like these standard size, like the, whatever. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It could be interesting. Hopefully they influx some new stuff, some stuff that we haven't seen. But at this point, like I was saying before, like we've gotten so many lines. What new stuff can they give us without spoiling what they have planned for now, 2022 and beyond? Because they got to have years worth of content after that too.
Do you think when Dominion does come out that it's still just like, do you think the Stegosaur is always that Stegosaur? Do you think we'll ever get a new mold? Or do you think that for here until the end of Mattel's run,
Just
this Stegosaur
continually
is the mold we
repainted.
get? What?
Just continually repainted.
Just continuously repainted. Like,
I hope not. I mean, I like it. I think it's great. I've gotten every iteration of it, I think.
okay, but like even like okay, Raptors. There's like 4 versions of the Raptors. Do you think those are just the Raptors we get now from here till the end, just repainted to be different ones? Like, that's where I'm getting burned out. Is like, dude, like how many Raptors can I own that are this just the same poses?
I
This
don't
is coming
know.
from the guy who originally didn't want poses. I'm fully willing to admit that I didn't want poses, but this is kind of the reason why I didn't want them, because now I feel like the pose adds like to the character of the figure. And so when I just get a repaint of it, I'm like, why then why are you posed exactly like the blue Velociraptor?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
I don't
very
know, man.
strange.
I think over time we'll get new play features and stuff like that, and little things will change here and there. But yeah, I hope we see some different poses, because I'm really tired of those, like all the raptor poses. Initially, that was my thing. Is like I want every raptor. I just want an army of raptors, all different colors. And I honestly didn't care about the poses at that point, but now I'm like, okay, let's see some different stuff. And I literally
See,
that's me today saying that I got a new raptor in the mail today. So who knows?
it, if they did Raptors that were the original 2 color schemes, so the dark brown and the tiger stripes, if they just did those in that it's not Dino Damage, what's the Walmart one?
Yeah,
Battle
battle
Strike,
damage. It was just
Battle
battle
Damage.
damage or whatever.
If they did Battle Damage Raptors in those 2 paint color schemes, I'd buy a handful and then I would just be done with Raptors. Like, I feel like I'd have my Raptors plus blue plus I think I have Charlie. Like, and I'd have my Raptor pack is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I don't know.
what is there anything that like could get you excited? Like, is there a new species that could get you excited for 2021? That they could
No,
say like,
I
"Hey,
don't.
we're doing this new species," and you go, "I gotta have it."
Not really. I mean, like we were saying before, like I'm not a huge dinosaur nerd as in particular. Like I love them and I love all the ones that I know, but I'm not like, oh, I can pinpoint exactly what all these different species are without knowing what
Yeah,
without not having a toy before that, because the toys are the way that I learn what these things are for the most part.
yeah. Like,
So I'm just open to new stuff for sure. Like, when the Seats came out, I'm like, that's cool. I want that. I had never heard of it, and it's a new thing. It's a new discovery. So throw it in
I think
there.
that's how
I
I
think it's
was with
awesome.
Cryolophosaurus with it was yellow with like the red thing.
Yeah.
I had never heard of that dinosaur before. And when that sculpt was released, I was like, oh, that's really cool. It's weird that it's yellow, but
Yeah.
like it's still just like a really cool like skull. And so I was like, okay, I gotta have that. But like for me, the the FOMO is like lessening every single time they release these new lines, just because I'm defeated at this point. Like I know I can't get them unless I
Yeah.
feel bad this entire year. Everyone's doing my shopping for me. Like, and I actually have nothing to show for it.
Sorry. Yeah, we'll
So
get you some stuff soon.
no, I mean, dude, I mean, look, I have stuff for you and you have
Yep.
stuff for me, and that's
We're all
like
one big
we have it.
happy family, as
Like,
Barney would
I'm just
say,
kind of
right?
waiting
I
to get
think.
back to the States so that like we don't have to do this like this not immigration, what is it? The import fees or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
right? So for me, like the big ones that I would like, I think the ones that I would need to have would be like Apatosaurus, right? Like if
Mhm.
they did Apatosaurus, or
Yeah.
if they did Gallimimus that was actually to scale of what a real Gallimimus is, I think I would sell all my old ones and buy a bunch of.
Yeah.
I would rebuy an entire stampede of Gallimimus
Well, that
if
that
they were.
one is still out there. It's still coming, I believe, at some point. That one with the blue. It's kind of like the retro, like the way the old one was
Yeah, but
painted.
I'm more or less talking about like the scale,
A
like the
taller one.
scale of the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
one
I
that I
want one
don't
like
like. That long. Like I like it. I would like a taller one for sure.
if you look at like I didn't realize. I mean, you see them in the movies and they're big, right? When they're stampeding along
Yeah.
Alan and the kid. But like in Jurassic World, you don't really get a great sense of scale because
Hmm.
they're in the foreground and the car is kind of like in the background in the monorail.
Yeah.
But like the first time I ever got like a real like, oh my gosh, these things are actually big. These are like they're not attack pack scale, was when I was playing Jurassic World Evolution and I was like cruising through my herbivore pen and these Gallimimuses, man, just they run along your car and they're
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. Yeah, they are really big. It's definitely something. I guess because they're always in motion, they're always moving. You can never like compare them to a human in the movies, so you don't really get that
Right.
sense of scale. But yeah, when you actually see them lined up, you're like, oh my god, like, I did not realize. Actually, maybe you kind of get that. I forget. Do you get that sense of scale with the truck that they're kind of running by in Jurassic World? Because it's like a
I mean,
massive truck, right? I
yeah,
don't
I mean,
know.
I know that it's a massive truck.
They should just make Mega Destroyer Gallimimus.
There's a toy that flies off shelves. Um, no, like,
Yeah.
I mean, look, like I'm getting greedy, right? Because I totally realized that Gallimimus was something that I put out there into the universe, and boy, did Mattel deliver. I begged and begged and begged, and Mattel delivered in spades. I think I've got like 30 of those things.
Yeah.
But um, I think that would get me amped up. I think an Apatosaurus would get me amped up. I don't know what else, man. Maybe Dilophosaurus without a built-in frill would get me super stoked. Um,
Hmm.
which I know we kind of have with Amber Collection, but I would love to see that in a standard scale
Yeah,
for
sure.
me. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm interested to see what happens. I'm interested to see how much stuff leaks. Like, do you think there's a video game coming this year that can't like it just like you
No,
can't stop a video game?
I don't. Yeah, I know those would be in production for a while, and I think there was a point where there was some sort of convention, and Frontier had a big presence at it recently, and they were saying like, oh, it's probably going to be some Jurassic World announcement, but nothing ever came. So I don't know. I feel like we would have gotten the announcement um, by now, but who knows?
Well, Evolution Evolution announced on the Xbox stage. So, and they did just see. Here's the thing: they're not going to announce that before their Switch port comes out. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? They're gonna
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're gonna throw their next round of marketing for Jurassic World into that Switch port. So,
So yeah, they're not going to promote anything until at least January, February, March next year because
right,
they want to get the holiday sales in and without people being like, well, I could just wait and buy the new one, you know?
right, right. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people were expecting an announcement then, but I just wonder, like, is a video game so incredibly big and expensive that they couldn't that they would like if you're I know video games delay all the time, but movie tie-in ones don't usually delay. They're
Hmm.
usually pretty like on the nose. So I'm wondering if a video game is so big and expensive that they couldn't delay for a movie delay, if that makes any sense.
I don't know.
Interesting. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens, this year. This entire movie is going to be spoiled for us by the time it comes out,
I
by the
know
way.
that's one of the big worries for pushing it that far. And we'll
Yep.
continue on with that a little bit later. Dino Escape. I like the sound of it. But yeah, we don't really know anything about it. It's just a fun title and some different sub headlines as far as Wild Attack, Human Packs, Roar Attack, and Mega Destroyer. So I'm down for it
How
though.
how many of these little like slogans like Dino Escape and Attack Pack and Primal Strike. How if you and I sat down for 3 hours, how many of these do you think that we could come up with ourselves, trademark, and then sell them back to Mattel? Like, there can't be an endless amount of puns or whatever.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think you could definitely come up with a lot of stuff pretty easily.
That's my new get rich
honestly,
quick scheme.
And I hate them all just as a whole. I like them like some individually, but like as a whole, I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm so confused when we podcast, and I'm like, well, which command, like we were saying, the Command and Conquer, like I don't even know these names anymore. Thrash and Throw. There's always an and I'm like, just make it one thing. I'm so confused at this point. What is what? I have no clue when anything was from anymore.
I wonder what the market research is behind like why they needed to have like over a dozen different catchy phrases. Like, does a catchy phrase sell? I feel like
I don't know. I mean, for the commercial, sure, I feel like it does, but on the shelf, I don't feel like does it matter?
I mean, am I out of touch? Do they really do television spot commercials for these things? Or are they usually just like YouTube videos?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're definitely YouTube videos. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of TV, at least live TV and stuff where, I would technically see these. So I don't know if they have anything on television. I would assume, but YouTube for sure. I mean, they get a lot of hits over there for their trailers and music videos and all kinds of stuff they do for Jurassic World, Mattel. So I don't know, man. It's just all so buzzwordy, and I'm just so confused time after time. I'm like, what was that one that was really, really cool? I liked it. It did the thing. It twisted its neck, and I'm like, oh, it's a bite and fight. Oh yeah, okay. So it just takes me too long to come up with the names. But yeah,
dude, that's the one. They don't have bite and fight yet. Let's trademark.
No, they do. They do have bite and fight.
No.
Yeah.
What's a bite and fight?
It's a one-off. It was just the one T-Rex it was like the first dark T-Rex, dark brown T-Rex that had the twisty neck thing that like went like sideways and like bit on the side.
Oh. Yeah, I remember that one.
So Dino Rivals, I believe.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we do know a lot of this stuff, so yeah, there's a few that like escape my mind every so often. But yeah, that I think probably about wraps up our toy discussion. We did have one more thing that we were going to discuss, but I'm like, let's pass on that for now. We've been going for so long, so let's move on to